Well, Mel, some big news on the quarterback front as it pertains to the 2025 NFL draft. And since you and I last talked, Georgia quarterback Carson Beck decided not to enter the draft, but instead has gone to University of Miami via the transfer portal. When you saw this news, what was your initial reaction?
I couldn't be happier
Yeah.
because decisions that players make sometimes leave you scratching your head. I mean, that's why I'm losing hair because I keep getting
What
scratching and
hair?
ripping it out because I'm ripping my hair out with decisions that these guys make. When you have time to play college football, please, I'm begging you, take it. Take it. Because it doesn't matter where you go, it's how well prepared you are for what's going to be asked for you to do in a National Football League, which is going to be playing at this is the term, consistently high level week in and week out by year two. Even if you change offensive systems with different coaching staffs, consistently high level in year two, or goodbye, pal. So when you need to be prepared for that, play more college football. How many starts did Bo Nix have, Field? You know
Yeah.
the number,
The
right?
record, yeah, the
Yeah.
most ever.
Yeah, Carson Beck last year going into the season after the year was over and all, we're thinking first round. Didn't work out. You go to Miami and people say, well, okay, now it's a change of scenery. He's got to learn a new system. Let's see how that. Cam Ward had to do it 3 times, right? 3 different times. Offense is similar when he left one lower level to Washington State, but still you're in different offenses, different people around you, different moving parts. And yet you're putting up the numbers. That's why Cam Ward was even more impressive at Miami than his numbers suggest, because he fit in seamlessly and he had to adapt all those moving parts very quickly. So for me, Carson Beck will have to do the same, but play as much college football as you can. Jalen Milroe should be back, in my opinion, playing more college football. Quinn Ewers should be as well. Drew Aller, at 20 years of age, made the perfect decision, the only decision. After he said he was going to do it, people were trying to talk him out of it, I guess, in the internet world. Luckily, Drew Aller stuck to what he knew was right and is going back to Penn State along with Nicholas Singleton, Katron Allen, Denai Dennis Sutton, and others, right? So that kind of becoming the Ohio State model for Penn State. Let's go back and try to win a national title by staying in college another year. We're getting paid to do it. So for Carson Beck, I'm thrilled, Field, that he's going back, playing at Miami, and hopefully he can, do what Cam Ward did. Ascend. Remember, he dropped, now ascend back up the draft board in 2025.
And Mel, let's consider some of the factors in play here for Carson Beck that could have persuaded him to enter the NFL draft. This is not a great quarterback class, that much we have acknowledged several times over. If ever there were a year in which a prospect could have not a great season, certainly not compared to the one prior to that, and still end up going pretty high, this would be one, because this just in, there are still a lot of NFL teams that need quarterbacks. However, Carson Beck, who's coming off of elbow surgery, which is significant, right? It's his throwing elbow. That's going to limit his ability to be available during the springtime for Miami, and certainly would be the case if he were in the NFL as well. Now, we've seen guys come back from similar injuries, Brock Purdy being the most recent notable example. He did not miss any games after he left the NFC Championship game. But still, the point is, it's something you have to factor into the consideration. On top of that, he had 12 picks this year, tied for the third most in the FBS. Really struggled with his accuracy, his ball placement this season. Just did not feel like there were nearly enough clutch moments from Carson Beck to instill a lot of confidence. So for me, I had a round 4, like a day 3 grade, somewhere on day 3 for Carson Beck. And that was consistent with the feedback I was getting from scouts around the NFL. So the reported NIL package for Carson Beck is multi-millions of dollars. The amount of money he's going to get to play for Miami could more than make up the difference of how far he may have fallen in the draft if he had come out this year. So I think in the eyes of both of us, it's a logical choice for Carson Beck. I do think it could have benefited other quarterbacks to come back for a year as well. But as things stand, we finally have a better view of what the 2025 quarterback class is going to look like.